questions, and then we got to get them some lunch so they can get back to us.
Anyone here that is a part of the lawsuit that can give us a statement as well?
There's only one plaintiff in this
Kaylee's
lawsuit. This is Kaylee's lawsuit. We're part of the JCCP, which is the larger group, but this is not our case. We are part of the JCCP, yeah.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on age verification laws that are making their way through a bunch of states right now?
Well, you know, I think positively about them. Oh, sorry. I mean, I think that they're still new and we're figuring out how they would work and seeing what's going on in other countries that are implementing them. I think they have value, but I'd really still like to see these companies, you know, do what's needed to design their platforms safely for kids now and in the future. And as we move on to AI, that's even more important because kids are dying from AI chatbots as we speak. And that's not okay either. So we need to pull them in or it's just going to be out of control. So
I was honest about how old my son was 5 years ago. They knew he was 15 and still a predator with 50 fraudulent accounts was able to contact him and lure him and shame him in 5 hours. And they knew he was 15. They didn't let him use Marketplace because he wasn't old enough. Sure, I want age verification, but I know how smart these kids are. The platforms have to have a duty of care. They have to have transparency and reporting like every other industry. No more denying that they know what they are doing. They will stop at nothing to keep these kids' eyes on the screen, and that's the message. No family is alone in this. Every kid with a cell phone, that with any device with a camera and connection to the internet is in danger. Even if you're honest about their age, they do not care about these kids except for the money that they make for them. And it's time for the executive branch and the legislative branch to step up like the warriors have here and helped us and point out how far behind we are in having basic expectations that these companies protect children.
No more allowing them to self-regulate.
And can I just say that it's not fair? We shouldn't have to keep their customers safe on their product. Like, we shouldn't have to do that. That is not all down to the parents. They know this. And if social media was the gateway drug, AI is like the crack and heroin, and it moves fast. And tech moves very fast, and government does not. So they need to catch up, because by the time we get legislation, this is a victory, and we all feel vindicated. But until it has to be coupled with legislation, because this could just be like, okay, this is just the cost of doing business, and then they go back to doing it. And we hope that that's not the case. So it has to be coupled with legislation.
Yeah, and again, for our legislators, there are bills on the table in the House right now. The Senate version of the Kids Online Safety Act. We worked for years to get that passed in the Senate in 2024, 91-3. That's what we're looking for, that version, not the House version, but the Senate version. And also talking about what we're going to do about Section 230, reforming Section 230 so we can have a voice and we can take action against these companies. That's the only way they're going to stop is we hit them in their pocketbook. So we need to really look at this and understand where we are right now with this law that is 30 years old. We need to reform it, and we no more excuses anymore that it's just impossible. Nothing is impossible. And our kids' lives depend on it, and the future of this country depends on it, because those kids are going to be the ones that are supposed to lead our country. What are we going to do if they can't even think or talk and so depressed and anxious? I mean, come on, wake up.
Yeah, these social media companies have created an anxious generation. Our kids were the first cohort in the guinea pigs in this social media experiment, and we have lost a whole generation, and so it's not fair that what they're doing to our kids, and they know this. The tech companies are knowingly and intentionally preying upon the fragile psyche of teenage girls in particular, and they know this.
I want to say a word about something.
My name's Victoria Hinks.
I really want to say a word. Oh, I'm sorry. Victoria.
Sorry, Victoria Hinks from San Rafael, California.
I just want to say a word about something that is often forgotten about, which is challenges and dares that proliferate everywhere. My son died, next month will be 16 years ago, before we had a clue of what these companies were doing. And just in the news, February 3rd, a 9-year-old girl in Texas died from, nowadays most of it's called the Blackout Challenge. When he died, it was called the choking game. It goes by hundreds of different names, and it's often misclassified as suicide. These are healthy kids who aren't depressed, who think they are trying something safe. And this is, COSA would cover it. The Senate version of COSA would help tremendously towards this. And I just wanted to chime in about us parents who are victims of a different kind of harm online that is often it's often forgotten about. There is another family who lost a 12-year-old to, it wasn't publicized in the news, but they reached out to me personally, of the Blackout Challenge as well in February. So there are 2 deaths in February, one public on the record, one not, and thousands of them, so many misclassified as suicide. So I just want to shine a light on that as well while we have the spotlight, because those are going to trials separately, as I understand it.
Right.
And I'm not a plaintiff because of the age of he died too long ago at this point. But I personally today, I feel vindicated. I knew something was wrong along the way. I had been doing research on my own.
She's a warrior, so stop making her do your job.
Exactly. And
I feel vindicated and validated.
Yes.
One important thing that we need to remember, that was 16 years ago. The first should have been the last.
Yes.
And here we are. All right? And he was not even the first. So we can talk about choking challenges, fentanyl deaths, suicide, sextortion, name it. The first should have been the last, and it should have never happened to begin with. So let's do something about it.
It would have been YouTube at the
Thanks,
time, only
everybody.
because that was the only thing around. You've got to look at the content. 2010, I had a first-generation smartphone.